while we're out here too, let's check up on these breeders, because we're not going to be too far away from probably our first bunch of eggs hatching. There is some little changes I've done in here. We know these guys pretty well. Probably one of the more exciting pairs that I'm watching for this season is these guys. Still not 100% sure if I'll put them into Pattaya yet. I haven't 100% locked down my pairs. I do have 2 pairs that I'm 100% on, but I've just got a few other pairs I'm like, if the babies look all right, we may consider it. We've got a little bit of time up our sleeve anyway. And now I've got those 2 eggs, which hopefully should hatch soon. He's such a funny character. He has so many traits that I like. He's got a very good character as well, which is something I do like to see. I remember seeing a video my friend sent to me when he come back from one of the 800-kilometre races, and he was straight on the floor after being on the wing all day, and he was fighting tiger grizzles and everything. He was fighting whatever he could find, and I was like, wow, that pigeon, it's got some serious character. So I do like that. It was a really good drive for these guys just to get home and get their perch or take over the part of the floor that they want to nest in, or whatever they want to do. I'm not sure if I want to put these into Pattaya, but we'll just wait and see. These are a little bit related to the ones we had this year. So we done, what did we do this year? 206th place overall out of 10,667 pigeons, I think it was. So not too bad. We managed to get both the birds in the final, but unfortunately the birds didn't make it home in their bonus race. So it was that 600-kilometre after the series had finished. But the main thing, I don't mind a 600-kilometre race. Like it's a really cool concept after Pattaya, but you really don't want your pigeons in that race. What I'm trying to say is, if you want your pigeons to perform best in 1 to the 5th race, which is the final. The 6th race really is just a cull race, a little bit of a bonus for the pigeons that really weren't that good to perform enough to get into the Peeper auctions and stuff like that. So for me, my main goal is to get birds that perform from the hot spot 1 and return on the final and try and finish in that top percentage. I personally don't want any in the 600-kilometre race, which is the one after it. It's a really cool concept. A bit of prize money. It'd be really nice to win it anyway, but basically I want my birds to perform where it counts, and then do pretty well, and then hopefully get into that auction type of thing online. That'd be really cool. Even though the 600-kilometre birds do, but I like ace birds. That's my main goal, and ace bird points only count in the main race series, not the 600 kilometres. So yeah, we'll see how we go. I actually like this cock too. Got a couple of babies kicking around. His brother is in the nest box beside him. Beautiful pigeon. And I think I've only bred 1 round of these babies, and I might have sent them to Bundaberg, so he's untested here, but his brothers and sisters have done quite well in the eastern states, so we'll see how they all perform. And here's an absolutely beautiful pigeon, and you'll probably see he started to drop a couple of flights there, but he's got beautiful wings. Let's zoom out a little bit. We'll leave him alone, but I like to be pretty touchy with my birds, because I can come in here, candle eggs and all that kind of stuff, and they're not too crazy. You can see most of these cockbirds generally just let me come up and have a bit of a look. No trouble at all. I like them like that. I don't like them darting off, flicking eggs anywhere, things like that. We'll touch on these 2 ones because you'll see there's no eggs in there. So we've got Rosetta and also Zeta's sister in here, which they're both actually Zeta's sisters anyway, which is our best performing bird from our One Loft series last year. She was our 3rd ace bird. So what I've done is I've actually took these 2 rounds of eggs out, and I'm floating them under some other pairs I've got elsewhere, and these should lay again shortly. So potentially that's going to give us 8 babies to choose from, and they are crossed into my 2 half brothers I've got that are fantastic. We've only lost 1 pigeon from them, I think, and that only because it had some serious falcon damage on it, and it just never be the same again. So I'm crossing in. I like that cross that we're doing there. So we'll see how they turn out. So you wouldn't have seen this guy before, but he's very, very similar way bred to Apache. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought there for a second, but he's very closely related to him. So I don't know if I'm going to put any of these in the Pattaya race, but he's actually paired up to the mother of my Pattaya birds. So we sent 2 pigeons. They both got to the final. We got one home in the final. He was around about 1106 or something like that. Not too fantastic, but enough to score some pretty good ace points to get him up into 206th position and the second best Australian ace bird. So I can't really complain. I'd like a little bit more speed in him, but the consistency is there. He was a very consistent pigeon. The Kaya, the nestmate to that, was not consistent. She got slower, he got faster. So you can see the difference in one nest pair, 2 totally different pigeons. So that's why the father of my Pattaya birds I moved on, because I know those babies from the mother's side are very consistent pigeons. So we'll just continue on. Right, we're back. It's like I said, it's hot, so I can't film very much here without all my camera gear overheating. So we've got 3 of a kind over here. Paired him up with Storm, but like always, she lays when she wants to and if she wants to. So I highly doubt that she's going to lay in time to potentially consider one for Pattaya. So we'll see how they go. I'll give them a few more weeks. If not, then we might, set them aside. But we'll just wait and see. It's just when you get hens like that, they do breed good little babies, but you've kind of got to wait a very long time for anything to sort of come out of it. So at this point, this pair can't really count on, and it kind of feels like she wants to lay an egg. She's a little bit puffy down there, but still I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. But we got old Rosetta down here. She lays like a chicken. I took her eggs away and she is about to lay again. So she lays within a 7-day period of taking eggs off her. But we will float these ones under some other birds. So that will be really good to see. Well, we have got the one round right now being floated, but these ones we may just leave under her, and we'll try and get those ones away to Pattaya. I think this pair will be quite good, because obviously you've got Rosetta. She's the 600 kilometre birds, but pretty much pack leaders basically from 100 out to 600 kilometres, and they're pretty quick. Not so much the speed, but they're pretty switched on, so they don't muck around. They get with the lead birds and they stay there. That's pretty much what I've picked up from all the results and data I've collected so far. So they've done pretty well. And then I've paired her into this cock bird. I was half brother to last pick. This one's Checkmate. And I find him really good also, because I've only lost one baby off him, and that was because the falcons pretty much ripped it apart. It struggled. So we've got him here. He's basically 75%. Around about that 600 kilometre to 800 kilometre pigeon, but then the last percentage, he's pretty much European long distance, so about 1,000 kilometres. So very interesting mix. Kind of what I really do enjoy for the one loft is basically those 500 kilometre to 800 kilometre pigeons, with a tiny little bit of distance pigeons in there. Not too much. I know a lot of people like to go real heavy on distance pigeons. I'm not 100% there yet, just because I kind of like a little bit more speed without bringing in speed pigeons, although I am trying that in the pair up there as a one-off. I really like to be in that 500 to 800 kilometre mark, because the birds generally perform where it counts, which is basically that main race season series. So that's kind of where we're at. Oh, there's Apache. He's chasing Stealth. This is actually, she's crazy. Let's get her over there so we can have a better look at her. Apache's pushing her pretty hard, so she's going to lay again. I had to throw her eggs out actually, because they're a funny pair. I think this is going to do quite well, but her eggs have been a little bit funny, so I've been throwing one set out, and this will be her second set. I did try and pair her up once before, when she first come back from the one loft, but the eggs were like really funny and the shells were pretty bad. So what I've done, I've just been pumping a lot of calcium into the birds, basically like pink mineral powder, all different types of grit, and then I've been giving them a real sort of heavy mix as well. So there's popcorn, sunflower, safflower, all that kind of good in there. This one's got a bit more vetch in it this time. But hopefully this time she's had a bit of time to rest from coming back from the one loft, and she's actually ready to breed, because she will be a really good pigeon to send to Pattaya. And she will be halfway related basically to any that come out of these two pairs. She was a consistent pigeon. She definitely wasn't in the lead of the pack, but that's why I've crossed her into Apache, because those birds perform at the similar distance, but they just seem to be a little bit more switched on and want to be at the front of the pack, as we've seen last year. So got some pretty good results out of both these families, so I'm pretty happy. Out of the basically 12 pigeons that we raced in one loft last year, we had some pretty good results. So we'll see how we go. I'll catch you guys in the next video, and I'll try and keep you updated as much as possible.